Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be how Corey Wayne helped me reach my full potential. Well, I got a success story for you that's about 13 years in the making. This guy has been following me for that long. He's been following me since 2013 when he was 17. And now he's basically 30 years old. That's a long time. Almost half his life he's been following me. That's pretty crazy. So we had a lot of ups and downs. He got married, got divorced. He had a point in his life where after he got divorced, he was seriously considering ending it all. And some things clicked for him. He got back into the work, started reading it, and now life is better than ever. So life is a long journey, and the kind of stuff that I teach is not the kind of thing that fixes your life overnight. It's usually many months, many years to really make your life the way you want it. Like I say, when you look at great successes in life, it always takes 10 years or more. So you got to learn to think in terms of decades if you want great success in your life. Great things take time. Most people, 99.99% of people, don't come up with a business idea and 6 weeks later they're millionaires. It just doesn't work like that. The average person has got to work for things. So he says, "Hey Corey, this message has been over a decade in the making. I found your work back in 2013 when I was 17, and over the years I've read or listened to How to Be a 3% Man at least 30 to 40 times, and Mastering Yourself about 5 times. Your content played a huge role in shaping the man I become, even though the journey hasn't been easy or linear." Well, that's pretty much everybody's life, dude. Success is not a straight line. It's just like this squiggly thing. It's just... And the tough thing is you just got to keep moving forward. Life... There's fucking hair floating around. Life is hard. It's difficult. It's long. You have constant setbacks. Things go sideways. Things start to look good for a bit, and you're like, finally, I made it, and then something happens. It's, you got to learn to roll with the punches and always have the attitude of, hey, what's good about this? What can I learn from this? How can I become better? How can I improve? What do I need to change in my approach? What things can I do more of that have worked in the past? Life is just not easy. It requires your participation. You must participate in your own rescue. At 19, I used what I learned to attract my now ex-wife. Like many young men, I made the mistake of settling down with the first beautiful woman who was really into me. So it doesn't sound like he really paid much attention to vetting her character. Character is destiny. We were together for 5 years and had 2 children, but due to my unresolved childhood trauma, mental health struggles, and anger issues, the relationship fell apart. She left me. Once I got comfortable in the relationship, I forgot all about the book and eventually became a person that I don't even recognize today. Dishonest, disloyal, lying, cheating, and verbally and mentally abusive. It's like, wow, dude. Talk about coming off the rails. From age 24 to 28, I felt completely lost. I couldn't even drive for a long time due to unpaid vehicle taxes, and I didn't sign my first lease on an apartment of my own until just this past January. This is like learned helplessness. So you can tell he hit the wall, his life came apart, and he just kind of tapped out and didn't really make much of an effort to get by. But the one thing that kept me going was MMA. I've been on that path for 4 years now. About a year and a half ago, I hit rock bottom. I stopped fighting and seriously considered ending it all. Well, for all guys, it's like, when you look at your life and you look around and you're like, I fucking regressed. My life's a mess. Success is making progress. And in order to feel successful and happy, you got to feel like you're making progress towards your grandest goals and dreams. And when you go from having a family and kids and then you totally fuck it up and you're couch surfing or whatever this guy was doing to get by during that time, it's pretty hard to look at your life and going, oh yeah, I'm getting closer. Any day, things are going to turn around. You got to participate in your own rescue. And so it's pretty clear he wasn't doing anything. He says, I believe the only way to be taken seriously as a fighter was to be broke, desperate, and hungry. Yeah, I guess if you look at what Conor McGregor went through with his wife, because there's a lot of stories of that, guys that had nothing, and in his case, his wife stuck with him when they had nothing, when they didn't have a pot to piss in. And so there's a lot of that in the MMA world. And so, like, even my brother, he was always looking at guys like Sly Stallone and all these other people that basically became broke or homeless, like Sly Stallone famously. If you ever saw the original Rocky, the dog Butkus, it was like a bulldog, I think. He actually sold the dog for $200 to a guy because he had no money to buy dog food. And he needed the cash, and he thought, I'll sell it to somebody that'll take good care of him. And so after he got his movie signed, I think he had to give that guy like $10,000 because the guy got attached to the dog. He wanted to buy him back. He's like, no, I'm not selling him. And so he had to give the guy, I think it was like $10,000 and a part in the movie. And he gave him a little bit part in the movie. I can't remember which character he was, but it was like a cameo type thing. So 10 G's. I think he sold the dog for $200, 10 G's, and a part in a movie to get his dog back because, I think his name was Butkus. But you see that, and it's like even my brother hopped on a plane. He had like $100 in his account, and he's like, I'm going to go make it in Hollywood. And he flew out to Hollywood, and he slept on a bench for like, I guess a week or two or whatever, met some other homeless guys, and I kind of showed them the ropes. And there's somebody banging on the slab, so the dogs think it's fucking knocking on a door. And he ended up getting like a ticket for sleeping on a park bench. So, it's like, if you see that a lot, oh, well, this must be the path to redemption. And so this guy sounds like he kind of got influenced by that a little bit. He says, that belief nearly destroyed me. I purposefully brought hardship on myself to fit that classic story about fighters, but I finally made the choice to live my own story. I've had more struggles in my 30 years on Earth than most people do in 100. But over the past 3 months, everything changed. I fully committed to rebuilding myself from the ground up. I started training hard again. I became consistent with posting on Instagram and YouTube. I took a restaurant management job that sent me out of state for training. And during those 7 weeks, I doubled down on discipline, routine, and vision. Surrounded by beautiful younger women, all vying for my attention, I realized something. I was finally becoming the man I'd always wanted to be, physically, mentally, and spiritually. I'm attractive, turning 30 soon, in shape, and clearly look like an MMA fighter. I used to entertain low-quality hookups out of insecurity or habit, but I've recently had a huge internal shift. I got control of my urges, something I've struggled with for over a decade due to early trauma and addiction to porn and sex. Yeah, that's a bad way to go, get involved in that stuff. Then, right before finishing my training, a young woman who had clearly been interested for weeks made a move. She was gorgeous, tall, brunette, fit, sweet, and we ended up spending a couple of incredible days together. The first night we hung out, she completely blew off hanging out with her roommate, and later in the night, her roommate called me worried she wasn't answering, LOL. Must have been a good date. She also commented how surprised she was that I took her to dinner, then bowling, then on a drive, and she said she halfway expected me to take her straight to my hotel. She was intense. I could tell she'd been dying to tear my clothes off for weeks, LOL. She said I was the first guy to ever make her finish and that she wants to come visit me back home. All the usual. I just kept it light and fun. But it wasn't just about sex. It was fun. It was playful. And we had a great connection. For the first time in a long while, I felt like a man again. Confident, present, free. So if you notice what happened here, he completely started focusing on himself and his life and becoming a competent and confident man. And women notice these things. And so she noticed it, and she approached him. This is what happens when you really develop yourself and get a great life and lifestyle, and a life that you're happy about, and that you're proud of. Because if you're not happy about your life and you're not proud of it, she's not going to be either. So first and foremost, you got to get to a happy place. You shouldn't have the mindset of, I'll meet a girl and then we'll get happy together. Because then you end up attracting somebody that's also unhappy. And so you want to get to a happy place so you can attract somebody who's also happy. And then you can share your completeness and your happiness together. He says, to top it all off, the week before I returned home, an old employer I loved working for offered me a better paying position with more flexible hours. Now I have structure, income, time to train, time to post, and most importantly, time to be with my daughters. I wanted to thank you for being a part of my journey. Your work planted seeds that stuck with me even when I was at my lowest. And if I could pass on one lesson to your audience, it would be this. When I stopped obsessing over fixing myself and started asking God how I could serve others, everything started to change. Well, anything in life, especially as a man, when you're choosing your purpose and your mission in life, if you're an entrepreneur like me, the one thing you should always focus on is finding a way to add value. I talked about that in Mastering Yourself. And it's the one thing that is the common thread in all of my businesses I've had. It's in the business I have here. I'm always thinking in terms of if I'm going to do something or film a video or do live streams or members only content, what's the value proposition? What value am I adding to people's lives? And so when you focus, because the other interesting thing is one of our 6 human needs is contribution. And so when you focus on contributing to other people and making their lives better, you fulfill all other 5 needs. Your other 5 needs are certainty, variety, significance, love and connection, and growth, as in spiritual growth. And so when you focus on contributing to other people or adding value, things seem to fall in place, and you do things that reward you. Because when it comes to getting compensated, we get paid based upon the value that we bring to the marketplace. We get paid for developing our gifts, our skills, and our talents. So that's what you're noticing this guy's doing. Going to the gym, all those things, eating right, stop watching porn, stop doing things that are a waste of your time and aren't adding any value to your life. And so when you focus on adding value to other people's lives and adding value in business or a career, then the opportunities come along, and so do the women. They just start showing up because women are attracted to confidence and competence, and it's easy to spot somebody that's competent. I believe our mission in life is to identify the pain that's plagued us, heal it, and then teach others how to do the same. That's why I fight, not just to win, but to inspire. To show the forgotten, the broken, the ones society labels trash, that they had the power to turn it all around. This week, I even released a short free ebook about my journey from my darkest moments to a life of discipline and purpose through diet, exercise, and consistency. Within 2 days, I had my first 3 downloads. That meant more to me than anything since becoming a father. Thanks again for everything you've done. You've helped me find the light. All the best, Bob. Well, if you're new here and you haven't read 3% Man or Mastering Yourself, they are free to read in the members area of my website, understandingrelationships.com. All you got to do is put your name, your email address, create a password, and the books will open up right in your web browser. So you don't have to buy anything. You get to try before you buy. And all the dog barking that we've gotten to enjoy during this episode, there's no extra charge for that either. So if you got a question or challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the coaching tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. And remember, on Thursdays and Fridays, we do viewer question live streams so from Thursday from 2 to 4 and from Friday from 1 to 3, that's Eastern Standard Time Zone, same time zone as Miami and New York. Myself, Chunky, and the girls will answer all of your questions. And so just show up and we'll answer your questions. And if you guys haven't already signed up for our paying exclusive members-only content, go to understand in the links or the video description of this video. There are links to join on YouTube, or you can join on Spotify, or you can join our website, understandingrelationships.com. Just so when you get to our website, if you click the plans tab when you get there, you can do a 7-day free trial and check out what content you get for your money. And at the end if you choose an annual plan, at the end of the 7-day free trial, you get a 25% discount for paying the whole year's premium up front. So go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, sign up for a 7-day free trial. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.